Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Seduce Me the Otome. Not gonna lie here. So I already was recording a video for today, and I was 18 minutes in when I realized, holy fuck, it wasn't recording audio. So I'm just gonna start all over. Not all over, but I was like, oh fuck. I was about to end the episode, and then I looked and I was like, wait a minute. The thing that indicates audio is being recorded is not on. I'm like, oh fuck, don't tell me. Don't tell me I've been recording for 18 minutes with the audio off. But I was, and I'm like, fuck, I have to start all over. But when I was recording it for the first time, I did have to pause a lot because I didn't load up my guide, or I was trying to look something up on Google Translate, and well, now I don't have to do that. I don't have to waste time doing that now because it's already done. So that being said, let's continue the game. Also, when I was playing this and recording it, there was a glitch, and it scared me. So, I mean, I wish that it was recording audio because it was really fucking scary. But nope, it didn't. But anyways, after what seemed like hours, I finally woke up, slightly refreshed. My body knew that if I slept any longer, I'd be up all night, which was not part of the plan of the day. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. I didn't know what I was expecting. Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, was Damien, rousing himself up to see me awake. I smiled at him, seeing his slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes.
Oh, you're awake. Oh. How do you feel?
Better. Damien nodded before he looked down at the bed, taking my hands into his.
I'm sorry. This is all my fault.
Damien, it's not your fault.
No, it is. I was the one who wanted to come to the human world. I convinced the others to come with. If I never did that, we'd never have put you in danger like this.
I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear any more. Damien, it's okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let you all stay. Nothing is your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped Damien's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about this whole ordeal. Diana was desperate, and she'd hunt anyone down for them. It wasn't his fault she was desperate enough to hunt them down. One thing bothered me, though. Why did his dad scorn him? Why did Damien want to run away? Why is Damien all capitalized there? The others seemed a little obvious, but Damien was a mystery. However, before I could be vocally curious, you can't use however twice in the same sentence. That's so fucking retarded. I fucking hate you, whoever did this to me. Damien gently held my head in his hands. Damien? Damien frowned and simply held me.
I'll show you everything.
Oh yeah, show me everything, baby. Damien let out a small laugh, a hint of depression lingering in the breath he let out, before he focused his energy into my head. My vision blurred, and suddenly I was back in the demon castle. Boy, put some clothes back on, boy! There's children. There's children present. Put some clothes back on there. I'm the child. I mean, I'm turning 17 this summer. But anyways, I expected to see Damien wandering around the halls or with his brothers. However, I found him alone, sitting on the foot of the throne, tearfully curled into a ball. The room smelt of blood, but my eyes couldn't look away from the tearful Damien. Damien! I knew he couldn't hear me, but I instinctively called out to him. He looked lonely. Where were his brothers?
Why are you crying?
God? Damien picked his head up, suddenly as I did. As did I. But, grandfather?
Who are you? What do you want?
Yo, dick.
I just want to know if you're okay.
And I want your thick dick. Said my ass.
Who are you?
Yo, mama.
Don't be afraid. I'm just a friend.
That's how it all starts. They just say, don't worry, I'm just a friend. And then next moment you're with them, they whip out your dick and they're like, okay, put this in your mouth. Spaghetti noodles.
Friend?
Yes. I stared completely in shock. When did my grandfather knew them? No. Everything started going in fast forward. I saw Damien talking to the voice of my grandfather, seeing his sad face go from happy to surprised to fascinated, and cycle randomly. There were even moments when Matthew joined him, letting Damien speak for the voice in the air. It was all unbelievable. Here, my grandfather spoke of the human world, painting it to be a beautiful world of opportunity. How did my grandfather know about all of this? What was going on? My mind slightly spun at the idea that my grandfather delved into magic and demons. Eventually, the world around me slowed down to see the boys standing before the empty throne. They looked determined, stout, and ready for something to happen. Damien stepped forward and held his hand out to the throne.
Otome portas, aperiat nobis, laudetur exitum, desiderium.
This translates to, in Latin, oh, the outcome of the desire to bestow... Let me redo that. Oh, the outcome of the desire to bestow on them that will open to us the gates of darkness. My grandfather stared to chant a phrase unfamiliar to me. He started to chant. Why is there no T there? I'm like, do you guys hear that? Okay, I'm gonna stop. That's a glass of apple juice. If you know what I mean. It's actual apple juice. I don't drink alcohol because I'm underage and I don't want to drink. I also don't know where the good liquor is, so. But anyways, my grandfather started to chant this phrase unfamiliar to me, letting it rupture into the air around the boys. The beasts. Gusts of wind started to brush through the room, like a storm rushing in. I watched, however, as a small tear opened in the air in front of the throne. It glowed an unholy purple color, peeking into a very familiar pink cafe. No way, that's... Quickly, Sam rushed over and drove his hands through the tear, pulling it open and making it larger and revealing the Pink Lady Cafe with my grandfather on the other side. My grandfather held out his hand, ushering the boys to come.
Hurry up, boys. I can't hold it open for long.
Out of context, this sounds very wrong. Gross. Instantly, the boys ran through the tear, climbing through and almost crashing into the tables and chairs of the cafe. I felt myself move through as well, joining them as my grandfather closed the portal. The boys looked around the space, almost mystified at the sight. My grandfather laughed, out of breath, before sitting down at one of the nearby tables. Let's see. Those boys, though. It's a shame we can't see their, you know. Why don't they have nipples? I think I said this last time, sometime last time. I guess they don't really need nipples.
There now. Welcome to the human world, boys. Let's see. Kay, make us some coffee, please. These boys need a drink.
No, they don't. They need a drink of blood. Who just names their child K? That's sad. Just K. I turned to see Kay, the owner of the cafe and the only other person in the room besides the boys, smiling quickly good to work on making coffee. I was dumbfounded. She knew about them? I felt myself getting dizzy at the thought, but I shook my head out and tried to focus on what was going on. My grandfather looked at the boys up and down before chuckling again. Oh my God, Grandpa, stop it! The boys must have still been speechless, really.
You'll need a spell to cover yourselves up. Humans don't exactly have horns or parade around naked.
Why not? Make this legal! The boys looked at each other before collectively nodding and focusing their energies. Before my eyes, they went from demons to human-looking demons. Oh, wow! They looked to each other, ecstatic at their new looks. My grandfather, however, cleared his throat and brought the attention back to him. Let's see. Yep. Good old boys. Covering up their their butts and penisi. Penisi? Penisi. That sounds like a Pokemon. Go, I choose you, penisi!
Now don't be rude to Kay now. Sit and enjoy some coffee. It's the best in town.
Don't say now and twice in the same sentence. First it was however, and now it's now. Also beside. Beside counted too. Beside me, beside the bed, blah 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 blah. The boys obeyed, obviously in his debt. I looked to Damien's face, and he was almost in tears with joy. I could tell that he was beyond happy to be in the human world. I almost felt like crying for him, but I couldn't understand why. Maybe it was my dog started barking. Maybe it was his facial expressions, or maybe it was because I would meet him soon after this fact. Eventually, Damien stopped the magic, lowering his hands and letting me come back to reality. Oh, the ghost gravity! Oh! I held on to Damien, who kept a hold of me to make sure I didn't faint. Everything felt so wrong, and yet it all made sense at the same time. My grandfather knew magic. My grandfather helped the boys. He cast a spell on the mansion and on me to protect me.
I was the one who convinced everyone to come to the human world. I was also the one who asked that man, your grandfather, to bring us.
No shit, Sherlock. So, he helped you come through. What happened after?
He gave us a wallet full of fake IDs and maps of the world. He told us to go anywhere we wanted and that he would pay for everything so we wouldn't have to use our magic. It was like he made us human.
Aww. Damien laughed nostalgically. I could tell he was happy remembering how my grandfather had helped. I still couldn't wrap my head around it, but the answers I wanted were 6 feet under and unreachable now. You really wanted to be human. Damien looked at me, his eyes glimmering in both hope and shame.
More than anything, I still want to be human. I don't mean just in looks. Everything.
Damien has such a good voice actor. Oof. Oof. I want to meet a man like Damien. A demon. Damien looked to his hands, lowering them to the bed between us.
Humans don't read minds. Humans don't hurt people like demons do. I didn't ask to be a demon. I want to learn things, go places, and not have to be bound by magic or anything.
Oh, Damien. I stared. It was pitiful to see him like this. He looked almost like a child, begging me for something he really wanted. I wanted to help somehow. I just didn't know how.
It's all right.
Damien?
You've already done so much for me and my brothers, sheltering us, letting us continue to live here.
Damien frowned though, gently caressing my cheek with his hand. Oh my god.
I don't want you to get hurt because of us.
But what if I like pain? Kinky. Damien lowered his head in shame. I couldn't help but feel my heart squeeze within my chest at the sight. He truly cared. Damien let out a small sigh before looking to me with a new smile. He hid his sadness well, but I could tell he was still upset about the whole ordeal.
All right. You should sleep.
Damien gently pressed me back down onto the bed, resolved in what had happened. Well, the guy says steal kiss, so I'm gonna do that. I couldn't let him leave without doing something. I quickly pulled Damien! Damien! What the fuck, Damien? That sounds like another Pokemon. Go, Damien! I quickly pulled Damien down to me, lifted his head, and gently kissed him, softly laying a hand on his cheek to keep his face close. Damien stared in deep surprise before hesitantly kissing me back, caressing my cheek and slightly melting at the touch of our lips. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away with a smile. He gently licked his lips, making me go red in the face at the simple gesture. He let out a satisfied sigh before nuzzling my forehead.
Go to sleep.
And with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per his request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress. And that's gonna be it for this episode of Seduce Me the Otome. If you enjoyed this episode of Seduce Me the Otome, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!